Nishi was an interesting negotiation process between the city and the developer. And I felt that there was a substantial amount of movement on the developer's part, I think in large part because they know ultimately it will go before the voters. So it's not just them trying to get 3 council members to vote yes, it's working with the council to come up with something that they think they can live with, but also has a good chance of succeeding at the ballot. And I was initially opposed to Nishi. I didn't think that, right now, Richards and Olive, that intersection is very impacted.
It's where I live.
So this, we recently approved the hotel conference center there, which will go in where Cafe Italia is and the one-story hotel there. So there's going to be some additional traffic impacts. And so this idea that we would have Nishi come in and also feed into that intersection at Olive and Richards, like how on earth, why on earth would we do that? So the developer did something which caught me by surprise. And it really highlighted, I think, the difference in process between how we handled that versus the cannery. I voted no on the cannery, and I voted no on the cannery CFD. We can get into that in a little bit. But what the developer proposed for Nishi is that they will not take occupancy of that site in terms of the people who live there or the people who work there until 2 things happen. One is that Caltrans completes the construction of a new Richards interchange off the highway, Interstate 80 going to Richards. So they're planning to completely redo the off-ramps and on-ramps there. And, so it's not an and or, it's an and, the university and Nishi complete a grade-separated access point to the university from the Nishi parcel. And what I mean by grade separated is basically an underpass under the existing rail line. So Nishi, for people who don't really know where it is, it's very close to the Mondavi Center. If you were to get on the freeway at Richards, headed towards San Francisco, it's on your right-hand side. There's this narrow sort of sliver of land.
It's the land between you and the Mondavi Center.
Yes. It's bounded by Interstate 80 and the railroad, the Amtrak line. Anyway, so the developer said, we will not occupy that parcel until those 2 big infrastructure things get completed. And the city is not required to pay for them. The city, if the university drags its feet, then Nishi doesn't get built for a while. If the Caltrans drags its feet, then Nishi doesn't get built for a while. In addition, the developer agreed to put some caps on the amount of traffic going on and off site of the Nishi parcel in terms of there's going to be a parking garage there. So they've agreed to cap the number of peak hour trips. And they're able to do that by using some congestion pricing models. So when you go in and out of the lot, if they find that there's too much traffic going in and out, what they can do is they can charge varying amounts at different parts of the day, kind of like they do with the Bay Bridge. So it used to be in the Bay Bridge, you pay your $1 and you go across, didn't matter whether it was 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon. Now they've changed the pricing to reflect, they kind of want to discourage you from going during peak commute hours and hope that if you have some flexibility in when you can go, you'll go to a period of time where the bridge toll is slightly less. So the developer said that they can do that as well. So there is a pretty solid focus on traffic. And related to that interchange aspect is the plan is to have on Richards, as you're headed towards downtown Davis, before you get to the tunnel, 2 left turn lanes onto Olive, and Olive will be extended onto Nishi, and there'll be a new southern entrance point onto the university. So they're anticipating that a lot of that congestion and traffic that's currently fighting to get into the tunnel, and also just as you come out by the Borders intersection and turning left onto First Street, that will actually get channeled over to this new sort of Olive southern entrance into campus.
Which is like the citrus, instead of the fuel thing to get rid of the grease.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, that's the point. I mean, instead of finding some big engineering solution that complicates the problem, what can we do to eliminate the cause of the problem in the first place?
Yeah.
Or mitigate it so that it becomes self-regulated so that more people come at off-peak times because they realize that it's more convenient for them.
Yeah. So the parcel is still not without its issues. One of the big concerns is its proximity to Interstate 80 and the air pollution from that.
Sure.
So they're currently working on ways to especially focus on the particulate air pollution. So that's been brought up as one of the challenges, and they acknowledged it, and they continue to work on trying to find ways to address that. So the progress and the hard work is not over on it, but to me, those two key infrastructure projects really made a big difference.